Let's finish up a couple settings of BioLog. I just want to touch the most critical ones to show you, and we would encourage you to schedule your personalized online presentation so we can specifically answer all the questions that you and your team might have. This is just an overview where you can set different functions for an SAP logon, the BioLog transaction, HR, the balance sheet, or whatever you guys might define is critical in your system. Then you go ahead and you set it only check for finger scan, only check for smart card, or finger and smart card to offer the complete dual authentication. Of course, certain exceptions are possible, terminations. This column here is very important. The global checkmark will completely protect the selected transactions with biometrics, meaning nobody else in the entire company would be able to access those data unless they have permission from BioLog and a biometric template enrolled in the system. Obviously, that's what we recommend for most of your critical transactions. However, for the SAP logon, it probably would not make any sense. Another important fact is defining the verification check. Here, if a global check is not assigned, we can define for every user in the system, for every function in the system, which one do we want to have enabled with biometrics, for which function do we want to have a dual confirmation group assigned, which in this case an A001, which contains most of the people of our company, or a 002, which could just be your two most important financial officers. The biometric user should be enrolled normally under the same name as the SAP user, which means they are automatically assigned to each other. Here we can set exceptions. What that means is that Amanda could be assigned to her superior, Mr. Neudenberger, and now she can still log in as Mr. Neudenberger's SAP user to do his work. But if there is a wire transfer out of Mr. Neudenberger's SAP user account, we can still find out that Amanda logged in and Amanda did the wire transfer, and we could hold her accountable. What most of our customers do first is they protect the logon to the SAP administrator, SAP all, with biometrics, and only allow the 2 or 3 most critical people with the biometric template to access that emergency profile. This way they prevent automatically that any other person could ever use that profile, and more important, they know who of the 3 authorized users actually did use it. The same comes in very handy in a scenario that we have outlined on our website in the so-called warehouse case study. This is actually a client that is using in a warehouse 4 different PCs in every corner. He has 10 users that are supposed to work with those computers to do minimum tasks in the system. And what they are doing is they have assigned a generic SAP user, warehouse PC 1, 2, and 3 to those computers, assigned all biometric templates of all 10 users to those 3 PCs. And now all 10 of those users can log on to the computers, can do the transfer orders, are uniquely identified in the log file, and they can use any of the computers without having the inconvenience of logging in or out, which is also called fast user switching. But most important, even those computers are unlocked, if another individual, like a driver, would walk into the warehouse and access the computer, they wouldn't be able to do anything. The one thing I want to show at the end very quickly is our so-called security menu. And what the security menu can do is you define in security meetings all the hundreds of transactions that you potentially would want to protect and define them in an Excel spreadsheet. We can upload those automatically to our BioLog system, and now BioLog is able to go out into your SAP system and automatically remove the original ST code from all the user roles So people wouldn't be able to on the normal way access those transactions anymore. What they would have to do is go into what we call our BioLogs security menu. It would automatically list all the generated transactions, and now they can go in here and access their transactions through the security menu. I would like to finish this up with one thing. We want to show you how optionally I could go into the system and instead of using the normal SAP logon, we have created a single sign-on which allows us to define all the SAP systems that you have in your system. Then we just use the logon, which we type in here. It could be different logons as well. Click on logon, and with the touch of a finger, not asking for a logon and a password, and we would never have to change that again either, it would bring us right into the desired SAP system. I hope you have enjoyed our short demonstration and we have motivated you to schedule your personalized demo for your security team. Please look at our website at biologs.us, and we hope we hear from you soon. Thank you and have a good day.